Welcome back to VirtualLight Broadcast with Lightworker.com, segment 4. And now, Janelle.
Welcome back to the VirtualLight Broadcast. You're in for a treat now because we have Peter Sterling here. And as you see, Peter brought his harp. Peter Sterling is a world-class harpist. Listeners have reported having great peace, spiritual visions, and even miraculous healings while listening to Peter's music. Peter offers flavors of jazz, classical, world music, and New Age styles. Peter tours North America extensively, bringing his music and workshops, expos, hospitals, and nursing homes, where he continues to explore the field of sound therapy with the sick and elderly. Peter is also a guide to the sacred sites of Sedona and an accomplished stained-glass artist. And he resides in Arizona, in Sedona, Arizona.
No, I'm in Los Angeles now.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, that's old.
That's off your website.
That's old.
He resides everywhere. So welcome to the show.
Thank
you.
you.
I have some of your CDs, and I'm telling you, it is the most beautiful music I've ever heard. It's very
you.
celestial. And would you start off playing something for us?
Sure. I'm going to just felt inspired to just play a spontaneous improvised piece. I love to just open up to the energy of the moment with everybody who's tuning in to Virtual Light around the world. And I'm just going to bring through some spontaneous music for us right now.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
You know what's incredible about that music? It feels like familiar, like you know it. Just beautiful. And I know you said in your, I read on your website that you actually traveled to the dimension where celestial music was created. Is that correct?
That's true.
So
that's true.
Tell me about that.
Well, I was taken there. I had in the beginning of the introduction, Steve was talking a lot about Sedona, and there's been a lot of stories of Sedona, and that's really where my music came to me, was in Sedona. I was led there in the early 90s on a vision quest, a spiritual quest, to discover what my life's work was. I knew that I was a light worker, and I had known that for some time, and I had a feeling inside that there was something special that wanted to come out of me, something that I was here to do, a special work. I didn't know what it was, but my inner guidance was telling me that I was to go to Sedona and to release all my material possessions and move into a Volkswagen van.
I hate that part. Get rid of the stuff.
Yeah, and I gave pretty much everything away. And
now, how old were you here
I
at
was
this time?
we were getting personal now, but no, I was actually just going through my Saturn return, actually.
Okay.
So I was about 28, 29, and so it was a time of just releasing the past, and I really wanted to know why I was here, because I knew we were undergoing a tremendous spiritual transformation was taking place, and I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to play my part in that. So I went on this vision quest, moved into a Volkswagen van, and ended up living in the canyons of Sedona. And I didn't know how long it was going to last, but it turned into 3 years that I lived in my car. And I just detached from normal everyday reality, and it allowed me to just go on an inner journey of quite an extraordinary kind, where I was able to meditate for several hours, several times a day, and just live primarily in the wilderness.
You just went up on the rocks and just meditated?
Yeah, I would just hike. When I was led to Sedona, I was struck by the power and the energy of the place, and I was drawn to the wilderness of the outback areas there. And I would just hike by myself, and we'll go way back into the canyons and hike up on a ridge and just find a commanding view and just sit and meditate and just do some yoga and breathe, and just what I discovered was an extraordinary serenity that is there, and a powerful energy, and really quite a dramatic silence that I had never experienced. So I had always heard the mystics speaking about going into the silence. There's the old saying, be still and know that I am God. So I wanted to really be still so I could have that direct experience of God speaking to me. I didn't want to just read about it in books. So this was a kind of a do or die time for me. I wanted to have that direct experience, or else I didn't want to be here.
Or nothing,
It was really that serious for me. There's that old saying, knock and the door shall be opened unto you. And so that's what I did. I knocked on the door and I said, I wanted to be shown. I want to know why I'm here. And I went deep into the silence, and what happened was that when I got very still and very quiet, I began to hear, at first it was very faint, but it was just the subtle strains of some beautiful music. And it was quite startling at first, to the point where I actually would open my eyes and I looked around and I thought maybe...
there's a radio?
Exactly, I thought maybe somebody had a stereo out there in the forest, but then I realized that this music was coming from within me. And that the more I tuned into it, the louder it became, to where I was overcome with this, hearing the most exquisite, sublime music that struck a chord so deep in my heart and soul that my body began to kind of tremble and shake, and my heart just exploded open, and just tears uncontrollably started flooding from my eyes. And it was quite
in that angelic realm.
It was really, I was taken in, and what happened was, as I connected more in with this music, the sound current on the inner planes, my inner guidance told me to just trust, surrender, and let go, and let the music take you away. So I did that, and I was literally lifted right out, carried right out of my body, really kind of floated right out of the top of my head, and all of a sudden I was in some sort of ethereal realm. And I was in my light body, and or my astral body, or some sort of energy body, etheric body. And at first, as I was experiencing this with my eyes closed, like in a meditation, I could make out there were some faint shapes of light around me. As I adjusted my inner focus, these subtle forms started to take on a distinct shape and characteristics, and to my astonishment, I realized that there were angels in front of me. And there was a whole flock of
Amazing.
them. And the amazing thing was about them, these Arabs, the Arabs, see? Ooh, okay. Well, they love angels too. They're all about angels. But these angels...
This big concert in the sky you went to.
It really was. Well, they were the cherubs. And they were playing harps and flutes and violins and
you hadn't
singing.
been playing the harp before.
I wasn't
this,
a
right?
harpist. I wasn't really a musician leading up to this point in time. I had always felt music inside and tried different instruments, but nothing stuck until I was able to try a harp, guided by the angels that this is what I was going to do. But all of a sudden, these cherubs came into focus, and they were playing harps and flutes, and they were like celestial musicians. And they were playing this music that I was
Outrageous.
hearing. They ended up taking me on a lot of journeys, and I was able to reconnect with them time and time again. And there was a whole series of experiences I had. I can't really get into all the details here. I might suggest going to the website, harpmagic.com, where I have more details of my experiences with the angels, and you can read about them there.
And you have lots of samples that you can listen to your music
You
too.
can
I
hear
really
all the
like that.
music there, and you can also see my stained glass, and I have some other cool things there as well.
Because you work with light, color, and sound, correct?
That's correct, yeah.
And also your harp is very healing, and I know you say that too, that it causes, what is that? It causes a reaction in the body?
Yeah, well, the harp is perhaps the most sacred instrument of all history. It was
I
played in
believe
all
that.
the ancient cultures of the world, and ancient Egypt and Greece and Samaria, and perhaps even Atlantis before that. It has the purest harmonic tone, the purest harmonic frequencies of any string instrument come off the harp. So there's a long history of the harp being used for healing and initiation and ceremony. I am going to Egypt in February, where the harp was played quite extensively. It's actually painted on the walls and carved into the walls
That's true. you
of the
do say
Egyptian
it.
temples.
So you're going to bring your harp into Egypt?
Yes, we went last year, and we're going again in February, and we go for about 3 weeks, and we have private visits in all the sacred temple sites, and I play the harp in there, and we do beautiful ceremonies and rituals and invoke the
So like
Egyptian gods.
activations
It's
and-
really activations. But getting back to the healing power of the music you mentioned, when you first said that the music has a familiarity.
It really does.
When the angels gave me the music and told me that they were going to channel this music through me, and that my life's mission was to be a channel for their heavenly music, and that the harp was my instrument. At first I was resistant.
Really, God, a harp?
Yeah. Well, I was resistant, and I told them, I said, no, I want an electric guitar.
Exactly. I got to rock.
And yeah, we want to rock, but they said, no, this life
It'll
is
be
going to
the
be a harp. And, well, they also told me that it'll be actually to your benefit, because you'll be one of the only people playing the
Sure,
harp,
not
especially
me.
men. There's not many men playing the harp, and my style is very unique because I never took a lesson, really. I was self-taught, and the angels taught me how to play.
Which is incredible.
Well, they told me that this music that I was tuning into and they were bringing through me, that they said people would recognize this music and it would be familiar to them and it would remind them of home. That actually this music comes from source, and in the ultimate reality of it, there's only one song.
Yeah, explain that.
Well, the one song is if I may, I have a diagram right here, and I'll show you. This is an image that kind of portrays what I experienced, and this is a painting by Gustave Doré, who
These are angels, all of
Yeah,
them.
this is from the turn of the century, and this was a vision he had, and he painted it. And so this is
Beautiful.
kind of at the great central sun, or this was like God emanating the most glorious luminous light, and these are all the legions of angels spiraling around it, and they're singing these songs of praise that never end. It's an unending song of praise to the beloved, to the divine. And so that's what's going on in the higher realms, and that's what I was taken and shown. And they said that I'm going to be a channel to bring the music from this sphere into the earth, and that it would carry that energy, and that people would recognize it and would remind them of home. And the music is full of an energy of unity and divine love. That's really what it's about and the inspiration
It
of the
definitely
music.
pulls on your heartstrings.
It really does. I've had so many stories of people that have had really dramatic experiences while listening. I mean, in the last week, I had 3 accounts. People came to my concerts and they stood up and shared. One woman said that when she heard my music for the first time, just listening on the website to the samples, all of a sudden, the pain she had had of 30 years of polio left her body immediately and has not returned from listening to the music.
Heavens.
Yeah, there was another woman who was about 55 who shared that since she discovered it last month, she listens to the music in the car, at home, and in the office 24/7, even in
Your
the
biggest
bedroom when
fan?
she's sleeping. She said it's completely transformed her life. She said she quit a job that she'd been doing for 35 years, and now she's doing her life's work, her passion. She said, I've never been happier, and she's doing what she's here to do. And it all became very clear to her, and she attributes that to the music, helping
gotta
to
be
raise
very
her
rewarding.
vibration. Well, the music works on energetic levels where it has a specific frequency encoded in it, and it actually can activate you and raise your vibration. That's what it's here for, because we're all trying to increase our energy, raise our vibration, and come into the higher frequencies. And that's the beauty and the power of the harp as an instrument. To carry the sound current, the cosmic sound current, is unsurpassed for that. So
That's incredible. In fact, wasn't there music first before there was voice? Was that?
there could be, yeah.
Well, no, I have to tell you I'm doing my part because I play this at my house, and I have speakers in my backyard, so I've been playing it, so I'm healing the whole neighborhood.
Cool. Excellent.
Or you're healing the whole neighborhood. So I know you do play the flute and the guitar and something else, don't you?
Well, I play some flutes, a little bit of guitar. I do all the keyboards on my CDs. I do use my voice. I'm able to open up and allow the spirit to sing through my voice as
Oh, you
well.
sing as well,
Yeah, it's on
great.
all my CDs. I use my voice as an instrument. So, and more in the concerts, using the voice. So.
Now, where are you playing?
I play
the
all
whole
over the country. If people want to find out where I'm going to be, they can just go to my website and sign up for the newsletter, and I send out concert announcements all the time. So
Excellent.
I get around. The angels, there's so many stories I could tell you. Once you open up and bring the angels into your life and link with them, they create all sorts of miracles and magic and fun and synchronicity into your life. It really increases. I mean, every day is
They're
full
still
of-
around because this happened
Oh,
as
yeah.
a very young child.
No. This just happened 13 years ago. What happened as a young child?
That you had these angels around you, I thought.
Well, I had them. They were there. I wasn't aware of them. I wasn't aware of them until in the early 90s when these unfolding experiences happened
When you
to
were
me.
tripping on the mountain.
Yeah, when I was tripping out on the mountain. And, I mean, it got to the point where I could see them with my eyes open. And I could actually, in the early days, I mean, when I was living in the wilderness, it was really on the edge. It was very shamanic. It was kind of like a near-death experience that I went through. And when the angels came in, I mean, it got to the point, many times I could, for instance, I asked them to appear to me, that I wanted to see them with my eyes open. And at first, I would see the subtle shapes of light, like in the forest next to me, and that as more I got used to it, because they didn't want to startle me, they don't want to freak you out because then you'll close down.
Shut it down.
So it was a very gradual kind of process. They came on for me. But eventually I could see them with my eyes open, and I used to have a lot of fun with them where I could actually hold out my finger, and I could see this little cherub just actually kind of light upon my finger and just sitting there flapping its little wings, looking right at me. And I was having a conversation because I had and still do have a telepathic connection with them, so I can hear their thoughts. We have just a pure telepathic thought communication with each other.
Can you do readings for people with angels?
Sometimes I do. Like the last concert I did, I brought through some messages that became very clear for one of the women in the audience that was there. So more and more, it's always changing, and they
Growing,
want me to do more. And a lot of times, sometimes I'll do energetic healings on people. When I get connected to the energy, I can just put my hands on their head or different place of the body, and the energy is very intense. And
Can you play a
be very
song to
active.
heal somebody too?
I
Maybe you could
can.
channel that.
Maybe I should do another short one right now.
I would like a healing, please.
Okay, let's see. I'll play you a little melody from the Harp Dreams CD. This is called Monet's Garden. Do a little bit of it here for you.
Absolutely incredible. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
But tell me, what are some of these messages that the angels are telling you? Do you have anything that you can share with us?
Right now, the most pertinent message and consistent message coming through with the angels right now is it really has to do with raising the frequency, raising the energy, because the energy of transformation is accelerating. The shift is happening, and for us to, they keep talking about really about the energy body or the light body or the Merkaba, like our fifth dimensional light body, is being activated. So they collectively, there's a group activation happening, and we're all doing the work individually, but the energy is really available to facilitate that type of activation, and it's happening on a DNA and cellular level, and the codings are being fired and activated in the genetic blueprint that we're all carrying for the next stage of our evolution into the light. So it's fascinating, it's exciting, and so there's lots of messages coming around that.
What are they wanting us to do?
Well, they're wanting
absorb?
us to do a lot of, to releasing a lot of the old emotional baggage that we're carrying, because the old emotional pains and everything vibrate at a much lower level.
Sure.
So it's really important. We're all holding a lot of that in our bodies and in our energy fields. So it's really about releasing the past, because where we're going, this will seem like a dream that never even happened, probably, because we don't want to be too attached,
Right.
and especially to our personal stories of the past that we've all kind of played, perhaps the victims and all that stuff. So it's really about doing the emotional healing to release that, bringing that into the conscious awareness of our light, of our being, and just transmuting it with divine love. And then just opening the heart as wide as we can and allowing more of that love energy and light energy to come in, and just watch that transform your life and really move us into a whole new sphere of living, where it's just every day is a blessing, every day is a miracle, and
Shambhala.
yeah, it's an incredible thing. So it's really happening, to have faith and to believe in that and to
Do you
trust
think
in that.
it's seamless, that we're just moving into that seamlessly, or do you think the 2012 is going to be the old photon belt hitting us?
My sense is, with 2012, I celebrated the harmonic convergence in 1987, and I met Jose Arguelles back then, who was the one who coined the term, the harmonic convergence, and was the first to popularize the Mayan calendar and pop culture. And so I do sense that this is a real turning point in the cosmic cycles, and I, for one, feel a great, almost an urgency to do my work, to bring through as much as I can right now, because when I look into the future and when I look with the angels, I can see to 2012, but I can't see anything past that. It's all just kind of blank and kind of diffused. I don't know if there's any psychics else in the room that have that similar kind of experience, but beyond the timeline of 2012, I can't quite see what's there. And even Jose Arguelles, who says that beyond 2012 is beyond us, it's kind of a whole new dimension of time is happening. So I'm all psyched for that. I'm psyched for that. So.
I am too.
Yeah. And the music really helps, because the music can help to cocoon you in this type of energy, and the way the angels bring this music through me and how I was shown in the dimension, my music has a unique flow and rhythm and way that it progresses. So it actually, you can have a dimensional experience with the music. That's what the angels told me. When you play it, it's so much more than just a CD. It's really a powerful tool for healing and transformation. When you play the music in your space, it creates a resonant energy field, like a vibrational patterning in the space, which works two ways, they've told me. They told me this right at the beginning, before I was just even learning to play. They said that it acts like an angel attractor, so it'll bring angels into your space, if this is what you desire. And I've had many reports from people all over the world who have written me that they have had this experience, and that continually. And when you close your eyes, you can travel, you can soul travel. So you just close your eyes and let the music take you, and the angels will come, and they'll take you into these different realms, and it's quite beautiful. So to prepare you for being more fluid in making dimensional transitions into different frequencies. So it's
I can't wait to go home and put on my
yeah,
CD.
check it out. And I've
Seriously.
been talking about all these things for years, and my music was recently studied at Arizona State University by a PhD brain scientist who they
Really?
discovered within moments of listening to my music, the listener will entrain into a theta brainwave state, which is a meditative state.
Right.
It's known as the twilight state. It's a state of kind of a lucid awareness, a state, a frequency where in the brain where visions can come, real inspired visions. So it's really unusual that when you listen to the music and you're just going about your day, that you can actually be in that lucid visionary state while you're awake with your eyes open.
It does. It
Many
feels like a
reports of
warm
that.
blanket around you or something.
It
when
really
I've
is
been
like
listening
that.
to it. It's
Very
just-
healing, very cocooning. There's so much different types of energy that we're being bombarded with throughout the day with all the radio waves and microwaves that, and that has a really profound effect on us.
It really does.
Yeah, so we want to kind of counteract that by surrounding and creating an acoustic or a sonic environment that has healing and organizing frequencies in it. A lot of the frequencies that are out there are disorganizing and de-evolutionary. There's that happening
It
very...
scatters your
I mean, we
energy
can see
everywhere.
that in the world. There's a de-evolutionary spiral happening where people are choosing to stay stuck in the past, in the old patternings, and we're seeing the result of that with everything that's going on in the world. Then there are the light workers like us who know why we're here, and we're here to activate and fire our codings and activate evolutionary energy and affect mass consciousness by
pass
doing
it
that. The
forward.
more each one of us does that, it's like another point of light in the web of light around the planet, and I believe it's going to be a miraculous acceleration and awakening just right over the next horizon.
It's
here.
exciting, and it's right on top of us.
Yes.
Well, I applaud you for your work. I
Thank you.
love it. Do you have another CD coming out anytime
I
soon?
do. The new CD will be out next month. It's called The Sands of Time, and it's like a journey around the world to ancient temples and different places like that. So you can get
I
that at the
can't wait.
website coming soon at heartmagic.com.
Heartmagic.com. That was Peter Sterling. Would you play for us while
Sure.
we finish up here?
While we go out. I'll just open up again, so here we go.